This episode has been brought to you by JustNForm.com. If you're tired of being censored, tired of having your data stolen and sold, go to JustNForm.com, a social media site where all voices are welcome.
Thank you all so much for tuning into this special IG report segment of Mikasa Sukasa, and I am your humble host, as usual, Niko House. As you all know, I have been doing the reporting on the IG report since it seems like only myself and about 4 other people, not including Fox News, of course, have been reporting on this. What's more is that, unfortunately, I seem to be the only progressive that's reporting on this, as if this issue is somehow partisan, as if the revelations in the IG report have no implications on how we view the outcome of the 2016 election, or how we view James Comey's involvement in what seemed to be persuading the outcome of the election, or trying to, unsuccessfully so, to persuade the outcome of the election based off of political or, even just relationship bias, because he does have a long-standing relationship with Hillary Clinton. I don't know why. That's a lie. That's a lie. We know why. We know exactly why. Because those like TYT, they don't want to face the truth that they've been reporting on a narrative that was totally unsubstantiated. And even when we said it was unsubstantiated, they attacked us. And hell, they even attacked people on their own camp, like Jimmy Dore, for saying, hey, is it weird that I want to pretty much judge this instance off of the same criteria I would use to judge any other claim, as grand as Russia interfered on behalf of one specific candidate for the 2016 election? That's a pretty big claim. And, people like Jimmy and Kyle Kalinske and Mike Figueredo and a few others have always said, I understand why you would be worried, but can we, before you want us to tout this establishment narrative that seemingly only benefits the left, not only the real left, but not the real left, but the establishment left. Because remember, these claims attacked Joe Stein. They attacked Bernie Sanders. They attacked Donald Trump. Only ones who benefited from this are the establishment left until now. So, I have been reporting this in chunks because there's just so much to digest. And to be totally honest with you, it'll probably be about 3 to 4 months that I'm reporting on this, because every 2 to 3 pages is a new revelation that we should have known about, that we had said happened, but we were totally ignored and painted as right-wing conspiracy theorists. So this part of the Inspector General's report is called the differential treatment of the Clinton Foundation investigation. And obviously, like I said, reported on my last video, they said that they didn't want anybody making overt discoveries in the Clinton Foundation investigation during the election, because they didn't want it to, affect the outcome of the election. And I not necessarily agree with that. But I do agree that there shouldn't be investigations that are politically motivated to affect the outcome of the election. But this seems to be the opposite of that, right? And this is why I say that. This is according to the IG report. We asked Comey about the different instructions given to the mid-year investigations and the Clinton Foundation investigations. Comey told us the principle is take no action, if at all, reasonably, or if it can be reasonably avoided. And there was nothing about the Clinton investigation, or Clinton Foundation investigation, that was time sensitive. Ladies and gentlemen, President Barack Obama asked Hillary Clinton to get rid of the Clinton Foundation, specifically the Clinton Global Initiative, because of the mere appearance of looking like it could lead to quid pro quo behavior, which it indeed has, which is why the Clinton Global Initiative ended after the election was over. Clinton said during the 2008 election that she would get rid of the Clinton Global Initiative, and if she won. she said this past election, she would get rid of the Clinton Global Initiative. And then she began to defend the Clinton Global Initiative and talk about all the great work the Clinton Global Initiative did. Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, therefore was heavily involved in foreign affairs, people. If you don't know, Secretary of State might just be the second most powerful position of all the world, because you're essentially the president. You have almost all the power of a president as it involves what happens with the United States and its involvement in foreign affairs. So my question is, how is the Russian investigation not time sensitive? Or excuse me, how is the Russian investigation totally unsubstantiated, time sensitive? And because you believe that that could potentially lead to what? To Trump taking favors from Russia in order to give favors back to Russia. And you see some quid pro quo behavior that may compromise national security or the interests of the United States. So if I'm investigating the Clinton Foundation, where part of these behaviors that the Clinton Foundation has demonstrated involves quid pro quo behavior by taking money from not just Russian oligarchs, but Ukrainian oligarchs. And I mean, Saudi oligarchs. I mean, the list really goes on for the Clinton Foundation. Their involvement in Venezuela, their involvement in Haiti, their involvement in Honduras, and how they always seem to be right on time every time a disaster or a coup happens to clean things up. The Clinton Foundation has so many conflicts of interest that could be potentially exploited during the election, just as many, if not more, than Donald Trump. I would say more, honestly. I always say that people wish Donald Trump could be as corrupt as Hillary Clinton could. Trump wishes he could benefit from the corruption that Hillary Clinton has demonstrated. I never believed one time that Hillary Clinton's net worth is as low as they claimed it to be. Not once did I believe that. Hillary Clinton is a mafia boss. She's a boss. So how is this not time sensitive? And that's why I like the fact that the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, said that this is indeed differential treatment. Here's where it goes even deeper. Comey said, the challenge of the discovery of the emails on the Weiner thing was given the context that we had told the world, we, meaning the Justice Department and the FBI, there was nothing there. To now be presented with all these emails that are, it's highly significant to that investigation. How is, I don't know what that means. Where is the door labeled no action that you could either speak or conceal? And so either one's an action. So which action should we take? Man, this dude is talking in circles. But then he continues to say, so it was very different, given the context, a very different posture than the Clinton Foundation. And my worry was, I have to be careful that people in New York aren't, by virtue of political enthusiasm, trying to take action that would generate noise that would have an impact on the election. No time sensitive whatsoever to that. I'm not joking. That's what he said. That's his quote. That sounds, you know what that sounds like? Once again, people, when you're lying to your mom after you already got caught. You took your progress report or your report card and threw it out the bus and said, what happened to your report card? Well, Mom, see, what had happened was, remember how you always said we can't get a dog because dogs are just too rambunctious? Well, you were right, Mom. On the way home from school, a dog jumped in the window of the school. But can you believe that? I couldn't believe it either. It sounds almost unbelievable. Like if you didn't love me and know me and trust me as your firstborn child who has never lied to you except for when it was absolutely necessary, you wouldn't believe me. It's so unbelievable. But it happened. And so what had happened was, after the dog jumped in the window, he grabbed the report card and he only bit off like half of the report card. Bitch, just half. But when he bit off half of the report card and left the bus, he looked like he was still hungry. So in order for me to stop him, because the half I had that he bit were all A's, Mom. So like, yeah, I had a couple of B's on the second half. So I was like, well, he already took the A's And he looks really hungry. I don't want him to come back on the bus to attack me. And I was also worried about my peers. Mom, this was time sensitive. So I threw the rest of it out the window. And now I understand why you can't have dogs. And oh, by the way, I don't have my report card. The grades on the report card have nothing to do with the story I just told you. That is exactly what James Comey sounds like when he's stumbling over his words. But I just can't get over the fact that they're trying to convince the world that there's nothing time sensitive about the Clinton Foundation investigation, despite the fact that she literally quit. She quit. She shut down the Clinton Global Initiative the moment they could not pay back those favors. I'm sure they wanted their money back. They had to get a refund. Remember, it's like that the FBI agent who was undercover said, the Russians started building infrastructure already for the Uranium One deal. Why? Because they were so absolutely sure that Hillary Clinton was going to get the deal pushed through. It was so absolutely sure that they knew that building the infrastructure was not going to fall, was not going to be for naught. It was going to, the infrastructure was going to get used, and look what happened. It did get used. The Uranium One deal involved highly suspect individuals donating to the Clinton Foundation and holding fundraisers for the Clinton Foundation. But it's not time sensitive, even though this happened while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. So now you have actual, probable cause to believe that this might be a conflict of interest that could affect her presidency and the way she conducts herself and makes decisions involving foreign affairs. But hey, it's none of my business though, right? It's none of my business. I want to show you all one more thing before we go. This is something that Comey said whenever he was asked by the Inspector General about the differential treatment. So Comey was asked during testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee on May the 3rd, 2017, if it was appropriate for James Comey to comment on the mid-year investigation repeatedly and not say anything about the investigation involving the Trump campaign's connections to Russia. Comey replied, "I think I treated both investigations consistently under the same principles." No, he didn't. I just told you all. He pretended that one was time sensitive and the other was not. And he even lied about Clinton Foundation investigation as if intelligence agencies were not involved in that, while simultaneously touting the narrative that Russia was indeed working on behalf of Donald Trump to corrupt the 2016 elections. Comey replied, "I think I treated both investigations consistently under the same principles. People forget that we would not confirm the existence of the Hillary Clinton email investigation until 3 months after it began. However, it has been how long? It has been how long since the Clinton Investigation Foundation started? Years? And we're just now finding out from the FBI. It was last year, and I think it got leaked that they were investigating the Hillary Clinton Foundation investigation. We didn't know how long it had started, though. It was years ago. But not time sensitive. Clearly, if I had family sitting on the board of the Clinton Foundation, if I was personally involved with the Clintons, if I was benefiting from the Clintons, if I knew I was going to keep my office, if I knew I had a chance to be Attorney General under the Clintons, I would say things are time sensitive too. But whatever, it's not my business. I'm just a reporter. I just report things. Whether to make the public aware of the more general issue of Russian interference in the U.S. presidential election also arose in the fall of 2016. On October the 6th, the Department of Homeland Security and the Office of Director of the National Intelligence issued a joint statement about election security. But this statement was not in connection with the FBI's Russia investigation. Although Michael Horowitz does say later on that that's pretty ludicrous considering that you were consulted. You were not included in the joint statement because you were trying to maintain kind of like You were trying to stay out of the spotlight because you knew what it was going to look like, considering all the things that were going to come out later. But he said that the FBI was consulted on the Russian investigation. And yet, Comey's trying to pretend like he was totally separate from that. More lies. We're going to have more IG reports coming up later. But thank you all so much for tuning in to another important IG report. Make sure that you join JustNForm. Make sure that you also donate to the Patreon. Help support the show and grow the network. And hey, more than anything else, always remember, people, find your balance. Peace.